Hi everyone, we are Group 29, and our group project is on impact of the COVID-19 on countries' economies. Ever since COVID-19 has become a worldwide phenomenon, every country in the world has been impacted by it in terms of economy. However, research have shown that not all countries are facing the same degree of economic recession. This observation brought some questions to us. How can we categorize country by the economic indicators? And how does the impact of pandemic differ among groups with different economy levels? We suspect that the impacts of COVID-19 pandemic are not the same for countries with different economy levels. Specifically, greater impacts are more likely to be caused in countries with lower levels of economic development. With our questions in mind, we found several datasets that contains different economic indicators of each country. We also obtained a COVID-19 dataset that contains the information of COVID-19 cases in each country from January 2020 to October 2020. Now, Ika is going to demonstrate our data cleaning process.
To carry out further data analysis, we carry out data cleaning work to get a combined single data set. And we first clean up the economic indicator data by storing the normalized value and dropping the unneeded columns and then merging them together. And we do the same thing to the COVID data set by merging the original and supplement data set together based on country and dates. And after we get a combined data set by using inner join to merge both data set, we finally check it if it's clean enough, and we check if it's in a usable format and check the distribution and outliers. And we perform data visualization for COVID data in form of scatter matrices as well as line plots to see the trend and distribution. And we also perform scatter matrices for economic data for both fixed indicators and dynamic indicators. And we also use line plots. And we use histograms to see the spread of stringency index and GDP and observe a significant difference. And we use heat maps to see the correlation between each variables. And we chose Japan, for example.
In order to figure out how the pandemic affects the economy of countries with different levels of development, we first need to divide countries into three groups based on their Human Development Index. In order to explore how the pandemic impacted its countries in these groups differently, we first performed a one-sample t-test on changes in the value of economic indicators and the mean of change in the economic indicator of all the countries. And the economic indicators include CPI, Consumer Price Index, CLI Composite Leading Indicator, GDP, Gross Domestic Product, Unemployment Rate, and night trade. And for all the tests we run in this project, we set the alpha value to be equal to 0.05. Then we also compared the distribution of change in certain economic indicator in the impaired groups. With the help of a permutation test, two-sample t-test, and Wilcox and rank sum test, we can determine whether the mean of changes in the indicators are the same in paired groups. Furthermore, we also did a multi-category comparison with Kruskal, Wallace one-way analysis of variance, and ANOVA to test whether the three groups of countries have the same distribution of changes in economic indicators. As for the results, our one-sample t-test show that there only exists a significant difference between the change in CPI for countries with a high Human Development Index and the mean change in CPI for all countries with a significant difference of 3.42 and a p-value of 0.003. For the comparison in paired groups, the two-sample t-test and Wilcox and rank sum test show that there are no significant differences between the mean change among different groups in all economic indicators. And the permutation test show that there is a significant difference in the mean change in CPI between the high group and the low group. And for multi-category comparing, both ANOVA and KW test indicates that there are no significant differences between the mean change among different groups in all economic indicators. And next, Xing is going to talk about the ethic and privacy of this project.
Thank you, Ted. Hi, I'm Xing. In our project, we recognize the concerns on ethics and privacy while trying to eliminate them. Our data sets are acquired from official and transparent data sets such as OECD and CAGO, while the data we use are collective statistics of countries, which keeps patients anonymous by blurring individuals' information so that we don't need to concern of privacy issue. Overall, we have evaluated our database and eliminate the concerns before analysis. As for our findings, in less developed countries, the rate of confirmed and deaths are higher. Through statistical tests, we found out that the CPI can most represent the difference in terms of impact. However, not all tests support the conclusion. To sum up, in terms of medical, our analysis can well demonstrate the difference in the impact of COVID-19, while in terms of economy, we cannot conclude that there are significant differences among countries. We have acknowledged that our analysis have limitations such as data bias, preconceptional bias, and limited data. Notably, we have not performed normality tests on our data, which can potentially affect our results. We believe that our analysis can be further improved and by using multiple indicators, data sources, and unbiased models for further predictions. Thank you so much.